Smoke with me. Nobody wants to smoke with me. Cause nobody wants to smoke with me. Space. Did he take you on a date before they took his ass to trial? Put his head up on the stake, put the lights up on the stage so everyone could see him. Granny from Hattiesburg didn't care to reach her. Hopefully she keep her. My niggas doubling down, it's time to re-up. They playing God now, it's time to tee up. And show them what they ain't. The natives wise and rise. You know your niggas can't. Want some smoke with me? Guess nobody wants to smoke with me. Guess nobody wants to smoke with me. Yeah, flying through the atmosphere, I like what I became. Like what I becoming, baby, what's my name? If you let them gas you up, you never feel the same. Doing what they want. Here, let me explain. Space is only temporary, it's just constant change. And your ass ain't God, your ass just got a name. How dare I let an invader come over and self-proclaim his own idea? Do the smoke. If you don't like that, use a joke or you won't mind. For you, I'm done. Is the smoke? Where is the smoke?
Where is the smoke? Time out. It's Calcito, Spirit Coach getting you in shape for the age of Aquarius yet again. You're now drinking the wine of Zeus. And y'all, welcome to the Zeus Cast. Y'all know how I do. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Zeus Cast. I hope everything good. Hopefully everything good. I felt like the shit was glitching a little bit. So if y'all can hear me nice and good and things of that nature, please put the W's in the chat. You know, that was Chief Smoke, produced by my homeboy Sonny and shit. You know, shout out to Sonny. Shout out to everybody that's around me and things of that nature, the community. I love each and every one of y'all. And, you know, for the most part, shit, love you like a brother. You know, like love you like a brother, right? I love my brothers. You gotta love your brothers. You gotta love your sister. One thing about a good brother, a brother is gonna hold you down. You know what I'm saying? One thing about a good brother, a brother is gonna hold you down when you need to be held down. So you know you want to put yourself in a position where you held down, you know, for the right reasons. And you know, down is more so like, you know, just getting back down to earth, getting back down on solid ground and things of that nature, making sure you ain't too airheaded, making sure you ain't too over emotional, making sure you know you're not too out of this world and things, you know. We gotta refill the cup and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, welcome to Capricorn season, everybody. And I was thinking about like, man, you know, I don't really do 12 a.m. lives and things, but you know, Capricorn hours is 12 a.m. live, you know, and it's a big energy going on with it being white man holiday and stuff like that, Christmas. So what better hours to come and talk here? I'm saying be a little red riding seat though and shit like that. You feel me? Because we riding through the hood and everything that we need. And we're gonna get into these energies and shit like that. So y'all can know and be aware of what's going on. It's a lot of stuff going on in the sky So when we talk about the alignments and things, it's like a snapshot of what's going on in our mental realm and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything matters, everything has an equation, and everything can be calculated type shit, and everything has a meaning to something. So when we look at these, planets and how they interact and shit like that, or these positions in the sky and how they interact, and like it matters, right? Because the more closer we get to the sun, we Damn, am I lagging or am I good? That's what I'm trying to see right now. We gonna see right now. We gonna see right. Okay. Damn, am I lagging or am I good? Okay, we back. That's what's up. All right, that's what's up. I think we had some complications with the live and stuff like that. It was on the wrong internet channel, so but we should be loaded up, suited up, booted up, and like I said, ready for Capricorn. So what I was saying, just like we have these, when we further away from the sun in winter, fall time, winter, right? We start getting affected by, the changes of behavior due to interactions with, what we're experiencing, and what we're experiencing on a macro scale is a lot of different interactions, but the combination of what's going on as far as clashes, and if you want to call it whatever, how you call it, hydrum, helium, or whatever, right? It don't matter, but it's for the most part, if you look at it from an aspect of how you supposed to look at it, of it's two atmospheres clashing with others, and we got our atmosphere and the sun got its own atmosphere and shit like that, and when these two come together and spin and shit like that, it was different things going on other than it's just light moving and shit, light traveling, how y'all may think about it like that, and it may not even be that. It might be like some whole different things. So you got to understand, like, when you coming into knowing what usually is taught to you by someone that had a perspective and things. So you can get a lot of different perspectives. Now when we get into the perspective that you're naturally in, you got to look where you at. You know what I'm saying? USA and things, and think how hard they went to be in a perspective to create something like law, you know what I'm saying, that's something that you follow and shit like that. Even though they didn't create laws, but like laws that don't matter, like you got to pay taxes to somebody that you don't know. Laws like that, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay taxes to Uncle Sam and things of that nature. To go to what? You know what I'm saying? To go to them kicking you out the game or something like that, push you to the side. That ain't right. Like, or not even kick you out the game, but like tripping you, so it don't make no sense and things like that. Other than that, you don't go to college and see how hard it is for you to get $1 million status and position. See, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing far fetched. I ain't saying nothing far-fetched, but for the most part, we're being affected in things of that nature. And there's a lot of ways you can be affected, but you might not know how you're being affected. And when they get to like the alignments of the stars and shit like that, these are things that are tools that could bring you awareness of what's going on and shit like that. So when we get into the know your stars information and shit like that, and things of that nature, even also Christmas and shit like that. If you want to get in that spectrum as well, Christmas is just it's a mythological uh, tale. You know what I'm saying, for others. You know what I'm saying, like even like Elf on the Shelf. That's like a mythological thing as well too, in a sense of what you're doing. You manipulating others around you to believe something. And so everybody is partaking in doing that thing and shit like that. So y'all all come together and manipulate yourselves to believe that this is something, you know what I'm saying, that y'all be doing. And that's the power that everybody got. You know what I'm saying? So it's not nothing wrong with having power. It's just about how you use it. So you want to use your power for good reason. You know what I'm saying? You want to use your power and y'all don't understand how deep y'all power may be as people, as individuals, as people with voices, as people with thoughts and ideas. So you want to make sure that you're sharing these thoughts and ideas, especially if you got some value. If you don't got no value about what you're saying, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Go to college, go to, you know what I'm saying, go somewhere else and do that. You know what I'm saying? But if you got some value with things like that, as far as like, and you want to be on the scene and you want to be a part of something, you know what I'm saying, as an individual, this is a path that you do. Not saying what I'm doing you got to do, but this is just a path you can take, you know what I'm saying, to get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? That's just expressing your individuality and things of that nature and stuff. And that if you offering something. Now, when we getting into the alignments and things, this is what we gonna do, because we got a lot of different planetary vibes going on. So I'm hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to this site and stuff like that, because we're looking at this right now. Hold on, I'm gonna share this screen. Share this screen. Share this screen. Oh, baby, snow. When you fire, baby. So, baby, let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. It's getting cold, Capricorn season. So when we talk about Capricorn season, y'all, Capricorn season is the beginning of winter time. So this would mark the winter solstice, okay? So, oh, wait. Today's, oh yeah, okay, I'm tweaking. This after 12 o'clock. So, Capricorn season. Hold on, let me change my vibe in the studio real quick. Son, I gotta get the background vibes in here. But yeah, okay. So when we talk about Capricorn season, it's going to mark the beginning of winter. So we already experienced that cold wear with stinging and shit like that. That's like that Sagittarius and shit like that. You like, oh hell no, I gotta get inside. And I don't approve of no ads up here either. I don't want no ads. Or if you see anything that ain't CITO approved, then it ain't like this. I don't know what this is. I don't approve. All I approve of is this right here. Okay, I just got to let that message out and stuff like that so people can know how I'm coming. But, get into Capricorn season and things. So, yeah, it's the beginning of winter time. So it's the winter solstice right after, right? We come from Sagittarius and fall season, which Libra season is the beginning of fall, and Libra season marks the time between where we start separating from the sun, coming from Virgo, Cancer season. These are summertime, and then we got the springs, Gemini. I mean Aries through Gemini right here. Boop. So the sun has fell below the horizon right here in Capricorn. Now Capricorn, uh we are just talking about positions, but when we get to um like people being born out of this season, the ideas and thoughts that get born from this season, all the way down to certain seeds or certain fruits or certain plants that may grow. They may all have variants of this nature. You get what I'm saying? Where it's more separative, where it's more, unfruitful, where it's more internally fruitful, but in a sense of, the earth element. So let's put this to the test, right? So Capricorn is the earth sign, right? So when you think about earth, it's dry. You know what I'm saying? The element in itself, it's not as like water where we're connecting and things of that nature. If you utilize this as a metaphor, right? You get what I'm saying? Fire is not as expressive, it's not as movable. Don't y'all lose y'all jobs, hours in Capricorn season and shit like that. Don't y'all be paying other people money and shit like that. Don't it be hard times when shit Christmas and shit, you don't get no presents and shit. Don't it be hard? Yeah. So this is what I'm saying when I'm saying things like it is wrapped up in this nature. You get what I'm saying? So that's the energy that we're going to be experiencing. Now, this experience can come from a lot of different ways, usually filtered through the chakra system and shit. And we all got our 7 chakras, but you also got chakras inside of you. But let's just call them wheels and the will to do something. So, you got the will to love. Here's Venus right here. You got the will to act. Here's the sun right here. You got the will of your passion. There's Mars right here. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying? So that will be the highlighted wheels that will be filtered through this expression of Capricorn. You get what I'm saying? So you may be more conscious. What does the sun represent? So the sun in Capricorn, when I say a sun in Capricorn, boom, you're more consciously aware on a physical level, right, of this energy as well. And then you're also more consciously aware of it on a mental level, So the physical level will be you going outside, you see it's cold. The mental level would be I'm not about to mentally connect to everything as I did. I want to get my ass in the house. Okay, I want to be secure. I want to be protected. That would be the mental level of Capricorn. If you get what I'm saying, right? If you get what I'm saying, right? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about, chat? Hold on. W, shout out to W's in the chat. W's in the chat. All right. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat, right? So we learning today. Okay? We're learning today. There's 2 types of learning. Learning and not learning. It's only 2 types. It's only 2 types. But we're going to help you. So first, you got to be open to learn. And second, you got to be willing to learn. And third, you got to apply. Okay? All right, you got to apply. So you see the sun in Capricorn, right? When you peep that, you're going to be more consciously aware of that. So that brings conscious awareness. What does the sun bring? Conscious awareness. So you'll be literally consciously aware of, the energy of Capricorn, aka the earth sign, the cardinal earth sign. things dealing with status, things dealing with business, things dealing with position. But for the most part, those are associated ideals with it. But the more sort of the energetic is what you would feel with the sun. So, typically trying to ground something, typically trying to make something make sense, typically feeling the energy of whatever Capricorn is to you. And it could be to everybody differently based upon y'all own alignments and zodiac sign. But this is how I interpret it. So, it's not one thing you want to broad onto. It's just a perspective that you can take and utilize as, oh, this is where we at and this is what's going on. Okay. So that's the sun in Capricorn. Now I see it as sun in Capricorn creating a hard position. So, creating you got to build your strength. You got to build resilience, especially around this time of Christmas and shit like that, because you deal with so many emotions, you deal with so many feelings, you know what I'm saying? So it may be opposite to feel those things because we got like Cancer energies going on because we, all together in family and things of that nature. So y'all know how I get with family and things, but because it's literally opposite. Here's Capricorn and Jupiter's here. So it's literally opposite. So you may feel like, you're a lot of shit may be unrealistic and shit like that, but hey, this is something that, as far as the Christmas thing, this is they magic and shit like that. So you just gotta live with they magic. You gotta live with they magic. Okay. They is just going crazy right here, bro. What is all of this? I don't want to see nothing about Bethlehem. That just blew me on, bro. I don't want to see nothing about Bethlehem Bible studies or nothing like that, man. We talking about astrology right now, man. This is what created the Bible and stuff. Hold on, man. They got a little Bethlehem right here. How I get rid of Bethlehem, man? Oh, I had to open the link. That's what I had to do. All right, cool. No, it's coming back. Get this out of here. Cool. All right, I'd rather see that. I don't want to see nothing about Bethlehem and things. Baby in Bethlehem. All right. So, and now we can take what I said and we can apply that to a lot of things. Okay, we can apply that to a lot of things right now as well. But for the most part, I would like to go to the alignment here. So we're gonna start at the sun. Why not? So the sun in Capricorn, we're gonna be creating a harsh position. No, I'm sorry. We're going to be seeing a reality of things or creating a secure position and things. So you can be doing that too right now, even with your family and stuff like that. You still got the ability to see the harsh reality of things or see the real reality. Now, right now would be a good time for that because we came from Sagittarius and we always got to progress and shit like that. So Sagittarius here is about meaning and reasoning and being an example of experience. So we might be creating a secure position, but for what? You know what I'm saying? For what we already did. Well, not for what we already did, but what we already did is, well, yeah, I would say that before what we already did. So we're creating a secure position because we have knowledge, because we have meanings and reasonings behind things. So you already would be in a good position of, taking the right turns and shit like that in your life if you know that that's what you create in a position for your higher knowledge, for your meanings and reasons, and for the morality of things, and also or you could be creating a position for your abilities to flee or your abilities to run away or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll create a position right in the mental hospital or something like that, But yeah, but you want to see the harsh reality of things. You want to see the realism of things, so you can know how you position. And only if you there and honest with things and shit like that, you will be able to interpret to go to the next step. Because if you in some position where you lying and shit like that, and you don't want to accept reality and shit, that would be, you kind of playing in the opposite natures and shit like that. And for the most part, that's cool, but everything just everything come with a price. So you know what I'm saying? You doing things in the opposite nature right now, you know, you might not feel good about it. So let's just say you believe in whatever type thing. Eventually it don't matter. Reality is reality. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see reality at the end of the day. Like you can lie to yourself all you want to, but reality is reality, and that's what's gonna be at the end of the day. So you know what I'm saying? That's just like a celebrity, like being lost in some fantasy world, you know, but they later see the reality. Man, this ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so like you can make up good stuff and stuff like that. You can make up real good stuff in your mind. They do it all the time with celebrities. Put them on some high horse, make them play that character in that reality. They be playing that reality, and boom, you get hit with the harsh realities. One Capricorn season or something like that. Because I'm like, missed too many Saturn returns and shit like that. But yeah, you feel me? Like it can really go down. So it's just like you got to be aware of these things and stuff like that. You don't want to be lost in that. Okay. So see, man, they getting too creative with this, man. Hold on, let's zoom in, man. Let's zoom in. I already told y'all I didn't want to see these ads. They insist though and stuff like that, but it's cool. It's cool. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Okay. Back to the mission at hand though. Boom. Now, we also got Mercury and Sagittarius. So, boom, expanding out of a way of thinking right now. So, all of us getting knowledge on how to think a little bit broader, right? With Mercury and Sagittarius, Mercury went retrograde in Sagittarius, but now it's direct and things. So, we went back and got some information while it was retrograde, I want to say a couple weeks ago, right? And we had to get a little bit more information about how to do things or think a little bit broader about something or communicate a little bit more broader or apply our faith in our communication or our thought a little bit more. Okay, because Sagittarius is that internal flame and that internal fire, and that's what you're gonna see. All of that. Let's make this easier for myself, man, because they're killing me with these ads. I just can't. It's just too much going on. It's just way too much, man. It's just way too much, chat. W's in the chat if y'all following through. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Astro Seek. Somebody said Astro Seek. That's what I'm talking about. We finna see what they talking about. Astro Seek. Shout out to Astro Seek and stuff. Let me see if they come through. Let me see. Oh, you know what? You know what I can do too. And shout out to you for doing for suggesting that site. But I already got one in my mind. But you to go though. You know what I'm saying? It is Capricorn season. I know y'all saw the little goat in my thing. Look, they promote colognes and everything. They trying to get their money though. I don't blame them. Get y'all money. I'm like, man, all of these young black astrologers is bringing people to our site and stuff. And all these young white Gen Z liberals. I ain't no goddamn liberal. I'm finna tell you that right now. And shit like that. No, I don't need no liberation. Liberation is that concept is made up. That concept is made up. That's some black white shit. Only white people seek liberation. White people seeking liberation from their homeland and shit like that. So black people gotta seek liberation, and y'all never get that and stuff like that. So let's yeah, we gonna do my this guy right here. You know, that's nice, clean cut screen and shit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more. And then they still got the alignments in here too. Right here, so y'all can see firsthand. Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury. Yeah, okay, cool. So y'all see Mercury in Sagittarius right here. So that's what I was saying. Okay, so we're gonna be expanding our way of thinking right now and shit like that. So all of us is expanding our way of thinking. And that's coming from our senses of spirituality, spiritual conversations, spiritual ideas and things of that nature, and you know, just what we've been through and what we experience. You know, Sagittarius is the experience master, you know, the experience the experience master. So, you know, they take advantage of you shit too if you ain't experienced as them too. But it's more so them, they look at it like they teaching you a lesson that you need to know. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to us Sagittarius and shit like that. Yeah, so you know, it's ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is. So, you know, we're gonna be expanding. And what are we going to be expanding? We're going to be expanding our way of thinking. Okay, so Mercury is there. There's going to be a lot of ways of thinking that we need to, that we're called, you know what I'm saying, to grow out of based upon experience and what we experienced out of. And we know better, so we got to do better and shit like that. And right now will be the time because Mercury just went direct to actually do better in your thinking. Actually expand on them thoughts. Now, you know, due to situations and circumstances in the world, people around us, we may feel like people getting away with something like we not getting away with, or, you know, whatever y'all be looking up on the internet and getting confused by and thinking that's like reality or something like that. Those are the things that could have distracted you in the retrograde, you know. But if you didn't necessarily play into them things, you know, and you still doing the mental work, you know what I'm saying, aka taking your time to add on, you know, because the expansion ain't about, it's like a rubber band effect. Jupiter is like a rubber band, you know, so it's like more so it ain't about necessarily trying to pop out everything, but it's more so I go through the experience with a lighter way of seeing something. And boom, that's what Sagittarius is. It get you out of your own perspective. That's that mutable energy. But you know, you bring your perspective to see a different perspective and grow in that experience of it. So that's how Sagittarius work. But yeah, so that's Mercury and Sagittarius. All right. Now, moving on. We got Venus in Capricorn here. So Venus in Capricorn is going to bring love to not fire, water, air, earth. Well, earth. Yeah, it's going to bring it to earth. Okay. So it's going to bring our love to earth, love to reality. Love is going to be based upon status and position and what you're building for yourself. So if somebody mad at you right now, it's because of your status and position and shit like that. But you know, you supposed to motherfucking understand that's what's going on. Now, if you rock to sleep and you in the world, you won't be into the planets and shit like that. You might not know why this person mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Why this person not appreciating you and shit like that. depending on your alignment, your Venus. Those will be a lot of things. But people want to appreciate your status. People want to appreciate your ability to be grounded. People will appreciate your ability to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? Be responsible in some way, shape, or form, and things of that nature. So if your shit don't necessarily look rational, how you handling your responsibilities and stuff like that, you may get disappreciated right now. If you don't have no status and position that you can build on, you may get disappreciated right now. You feel me? So you gotta understand these as things that's going on within your funky ass life. And you know what I'm saying? When Zeus give you the knowledge and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Esoteric bath. Oh, let me clean that up and shit like that. AKA do an action and shit like that. When you create some esoteric yellow spiritual paint and shit like that, get to, you know what I'm saying? Get on it. That shit, lock and load. Okay, now don't make it no better. We got Mars in Capricorn. We got So, we got Mars in Capricorn on March 2nd. God, no. Yeah, we got Mars in Capricorn to Wait. What? That don't even make sense. Where's Aquarius at? Mars enter Pisces. What the fuck is just going to jump past Aquarius? Like, what's going on? I don't get that. Mars enter Pisces at March. What the fuck is this? Is this Western? I don't know. They tweaking. They ain't even saying that shit. I gotta look into that shit. But I ain't know Mars is gonna skip Aquarius and shit like that. Like Aquarius don't got no goddamn passion and shit like that. I'm offended. No, but Mars supposed to go through Aquarius, but whatever. But yeah, Mars is in Capricorn as well, right? And it's gonna bring passion to our status and position too. So like at least it's just gonna make that motherfucking that earth energy juke a little harder. It's gonna put a little oomph behind it. You feel me? It's gonna put a little oomph behind what's going on within our status and position. Okay, so you're gonna be passionate about grounded something. You're gonna be passionate about having a status. You could be passionate about buying presents more than a motherfucker right now, or you could be highly frustrated about your status. So it's either going to play on the positive or the negative side, which it always do. You know what I'm saying? It's always two sides to everything. So Mars, has both positive and negative. One side of it on the negative end is that, it gets too much passion. Eventually, man, I'm back. Could lead to frustration and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But some of that on a positive end, depending on how you play it, it can lead to positive or competitive type of energies where you outdo yourself on a positive scale. You get what I'm saying? So, but that's still gonna be in Capricorn. So it's gonna be, you're gonna be competing with your status, with your position and shit like that. With y'all realities and shit like that, with y'all boundaries and what's realistic and not, and things of that nature. And what good time to do that other than when Santa comes to motherfucking town. Saying get Santa funky ass out of here. This man Santa funky, bro. Santa is funky. Let me see. Santa smell like old socks. I ain't even finna lie to y'all. He smell like old socks. Oh, bro. Spiritually, on the spiritual realm, I smell him. He smell like old socks. It's old funky ass socks. For some reason. It's just for some reason. I don't know. But that's what I think he smells like. Okay? All right. But yeah, putting that little off in our status, that passion behind our status, and so you can be frustrated or passionate about your status right now. All right. Just remember that right now. So what does that mean on a level of what you can do for you and shit like that? however you can utilize that frustration, depending on what Earth, you're supposed to use it in that way. So use it towards something that is a little bit more grounded, like slow your passions down. You know what I'm saying? Be slow to get anger or be slow to get, frustrated, especially if you have, your Mars in one of the other cardinal signs like Cancer, like Libra, or like uh what's the other one? Aries and shit like that. So because y'all, the way what y'all may be frustrated about may just be how y'all feel at some moment and shit like that. So, Mars, Cancer, you're gonna be frustrated about connection and things of that nature, and doing things from in the home and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, or Capricorn looking at it like we got to build something, you know, um, and depending on like how each other may play out, Capricorn just may have more of the go know how to do it. If you got Mars and Libra, you may be frustrated about reciprocation or relationship, but right now it may look like it may play out like, well, you need to learn how to build something on in because what if anything happened? You can go through a hard situation. So same thing with Aries and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna learn. You got to be a little bit more realistic in things. So that could be playing out as well. But it's a lot of things focused on realistic, being realistic. It's a lot of things being focused on being realistic type shit. All right. Now we got Jupiter. It's retrograde in Cancer right now. Y'all see that Jupiter retrograde and it go direct in Cancer on March 10th. Mars enters Pisces and sending me right now. Like, how is it just skipping Aquarius? That's crazy. It's always supposed to show the next sign that it's supposed to go into. So like this is going to show the next move and it's going to go direct in Cancer. Like Saturn Pisces enters Aries and shit like that. And then like how Venus in Capricorn, Venus at Wednesday, December 31st. Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury. What is they talking about? I don't think they updated their site right now. We should have fucked what folks was talking about and shit like that. They gotta update their site. They are treat. I need to have an astrology site. I know it's coming soon. Trust. Gonna let a whole play out for you. Okay, but let's get back on track though. So Mars in Capricorn right now. Oh, I talked about that. So Jupiter in retrograde in Cancer. Now, Cancer. Okay, so the Cancer is, y'all already know how Cancer is. That's that beginning of summer energy, you know what I'm saying, where we get closer and closer to the sun. It's like, almost it's getting that, we starting to feel that heat. Starting to feel that heat, that connection and shit like that connection to heat and shit, so we may feel more connected to, home, family around Cancer and shit like that, not just your internal home, but the home you at. You know what I'm saying? Your other home, Earth and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you get connected to the flowers and what's blooming and all of that. So this is all different type of metaphors. All different type of metaphors for it. So Jupiter in Cancer, right? Right. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So this is getting comfortable with past experiences, knowledge, or optimism. Gift and a curse in that. Okay, so you can get comfortable with past experiences and shit like that. Okay, so Jupiter retrograde in Cancer is bringing comfortable energy, but it's also bringing too comfortable energy based upon it bringing some retrograde energy back. So the retrograde energy back will be modified in Cancer, as far as like coming through home, family, situations, Christmas and shit like that. You know what I'm saying, experiences and shit like that, Jupiter and shit, expanded knowledge and shit like that. But it's bringing experiences back, for us to experience them in the way the retrograde is experiencing, which is getting more comfortable with past experiences. So that could be a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because some past experiences that's Cancer may be bringing back could be good. It could be good. It could be good to you. It could be good to you. It could be bringing back a lot of nice, diameters and stuff like that, and all of that. But some of these things could be negative because they can bring you back situations where you was too comfortable, and you're not supposed to be too comfortable in that experience. So you got to understand the mental mathematics of your Jupiter travels and shit like that when it comes to experiencing. All right, I'm putting you on. All right, I'm putting you on. Don't forget, Cito told you first. So if you're getting too comfortable with that, then with that past experience and shit like that, it could work out for you. I'm not saying it can't work out for you, but I'm saying that you could be getting too comfortable with that, and if you know better, you do better. So you shouldn't just get comfortable with that. So why am I saying comfort, right? Right, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so this is our world we in and shit like that. So this is what remind us of, okay, we here. So that's our reminder of our comfortability, our reflection, so we can feel and know where we at and type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Jupiter is gonna be bringing back. All right. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. Yeah, y'all getting this? Oh, this is really doing thorough breakdowns in the world in the world right now. This is what it really looks like. This is what that really look like. Don't let them astrology people be fooling y'all out here and stuff like that. These dudes don't be saying no goddamn nothing. No goddamn nothing. Oh, your sign is this and that and this and that and this, and dude, you're the greatest sign and this and that and this and that, and oh my god, your sign is this and that and this, and then it's another spooky element of it and stuff like that. That was just like, oh dude, come on, clean it up a little bit, man. Clean it up. We gotta clean it up, man. Clean it up. People don't know what the hell they talking about. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm breaking it down to you. I'm showing you how it's really done. Right now. Okay. All right. Now let's do Saturn retro. No, is it retrograde? So Saturn in Pisces, right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn in Pisces right now, it enters Aries right February 13th. Cool, right before Valentine's Day. We're gonna look into that a little later. But Saturn in Pisces. So now what is Saturn? Saturn is structure, reality, grounding, beliefs, making sense and things. And oh yeah. All right. So this is starting to get sturdy about your spiritual practices, your beliefs, your imaginations and shit like that. So you should be starting to get sturdy. We had a retrograde with that too, but y'all ain't know that because y'all ain't into astrology. But it's cool though. But we did have a retrograde with that. So that retrograde went direct now. Okay. So now we getting sturdy with our beliefs, our imaginations, and systems, our belief systems and shit like that. So you should be put to the test of how sturdy you are on your belief system and shit like that. Because if you got an imagination, you got a dream, then why you ain't doing it? Oh, you must not be sturdy and stuff. So you ain't watched the New Yorkians when they was, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't picking it up like, oh, it's just, they That's the physical representation and stuff. You know, but it's time to get sturdy on your beliefs. Time to get sturdy on your belief system. Time to get sturdy on your imaginations and your dreams. And that means what is Neptune ruled by? You know, I mean, what is Pisces ruled by? I'm sorry. So that means, you know, you have to have some Jupiter energies where you're learning about your knowledge and your expansion of these interplays and whatnot. And also Neptune, your beliefs, your imaginations behind that. And it's going to be filtered through Saturn. So are you realistic about these things? And what are you making real out of these things in your life? You know what I'm saying? Or are you just doing the same old thing? And then now you ain't going to get sturdy about your beliefs. You ain't never going to pop out and be the real you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. So it's just, you got to get sturdy. All right? You got to get sturdy. All right? Oh, y'all see my microphone? There you go. There you go, y'all. I'm a podcaster, y'all. What can I say? What can I say? All right. So, you know, this is the real Christmas. It's about being in the present and things. So, you know, this is really how you be in the present. Really not how you going like getting present. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's the tree, you know what I'm saying? The star on top, aka the knowledge that come from the stars trickle down to your body and shit like that. Boom. Now you enlightened and shit like that. You building ornaments and stuff like that, aka blood flowing to the right areas and shit like that. Boom, you could be present in reality with Capricorn and shit like that. Okay, knowledge seal. Christmas ritual seal. All right, we got some more planets. We got a lot of more planets, and we got a lot of alignments too. So I'm trying to see, like, should we just do the whole Capricorn hours on their ass? Because Capricorn is 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I might just do a Christmas stream. You know what I'm saying? I'm the gift to y'all right now and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I love y'all too, though. So, but I gotta know my worth too, bitch. I gotta know my worth too, bitch. All right. Stubborn. No, Uranus. So we got Uranus and let's talk about Uranus, right? Uranus is a funny name, but it's retrograde right here in Taurus, and the sign of the Tauruses, and the sign of the Bulls. Let's see where it's at. Uranus is right here. Ooh, it's sharing Gemini and Taurus. Okay, so it's a little cuspy here. So it ain't fully into Taurus or Gemini fully. Let's see. Let me confirm, because sometimes it be tweaking depending on the degree of these things. Oh yeah, it's 28 degrees, so that makes about sense. Cuspy. All right. So Uranus is the planet of change, individuality, innovation, constant change, and the ability to never stay the same. So I like to associate it with the color white. You know what I'm saying? Because white, if anytime you add white to something, it changes. Oh my goodness, bro. That's why we got America today. Okay. But yeah, you know, and anytime you add black to something, you know what I'm saying, it contains it. And shit like that. It contains it, makes it more darker. You know what I'm saying? Makes it more internal type shit. Makes it more, you know. But yeah, this is how they try to. This is what they do with their little white black. But we ain't gonna get into that. We're gonna keep it astrology. We're going to keep it astrology here, but let's get to Uranus. And Gemini, Taurus, and this is stubborn or unchanging values, right? Via your surroundings and conversation. So Gemini rules the surroundings. Gemini rules the intellectual surrounding. Taurus rules the value system and things and survival. The values that you need to survive, the values that you need in nature, type shit. So it also rules nature. So you got Uranus here, which is innovation, change, and things of that nature. But it's retrograde. So like I said, when things are retrograde, there's bringing back shit. You know what I'm saying? So what was going to be bringing back, what Uranus is going to be bringing back, is some values and some surroundings that could look, because it's coming back, unchanging, uninnovative. Playing through the modality of Taurus, Earth, stubborn, Gemini, air, community, conversation, and shit like that. Boom. So you could just say, this could be how your whole friend group and their values is right now. Unchanging, stubborn, uninnovative, and things. So it could seem like that right now. Now, that could put you into lazy mode because you're like, man, these motherfuckers ain't gonna change. It also could put you into what I'm looking for, the what I was saying yesterday on my past video, like feeling like the harsh reality of being addicted to something and shit like that. Because when you are usually people that run to like escapism and shit via dopamine, they're trying to escape a harsh reality. And a lot of times that sometimes it just be shit not changing. So that be somebody excuse for them to, be like, oh, fuck it, I'm finna crash out. You know what I'm saying? The shit like that. That will be you utilizing Uranus in a negative way. So you're being rebellious and shit like that. But, for the most part, all of us going to feel the need to be innovative or unique or original within our communal circle and shit like that, and the values we have around it with Uranus there right now at the moment. And that's going to be, Uranus is going to be there retrograde into February 3rd. It goes direct on February 3rd and shit like that. So allow all that pass unchanged and shit like that. You got to remain an individual in the way you want to, you know what I'm saying, a way that's beneficial for you while it's going back in Taurus, right? Type shit. Make sure y'all like that like button, and make sure y'all drop a W in the chat. You feel me? All right. We getting there, y'all. We getting there, man. This not like y'all think. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's not a game. All right. So Neptune and Pisces, right? We're gonna be in a delusion about our personal beliefs right now. So that dream could be that dream. Everybody gonna be in a delusion or imagination about who they personally are amongst, or what belief system they should utilize right now too. Like what personal belief system or what personal passion you should have faith in. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be what you is questioning as far as your beliefs. Are you in a delusion about your personal beliefs right now? I mean, that's neither here or there. And it says, you want to make sure you're clear about these things. Like Pisces is a amazing sign. They have amazing energy, big energy and shit like that, you know, and they really bring the imagination world, to us. Especially, people in their season, but it's also going to be shared with Aries as well. So it's going to be a need to be something new. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you got Aries, you got to have something new. But what's going to be new is your experiences with Pisces and their belief system behind it and shit. And I think it was retrograde too. So it went direct. So now you bring this whole new imagination about the world and you got to go with it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really no rights or wrongs and shit like that. Look how far I got you now type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so, have you been observing your circumstances and seeing what isn't real? And that always is the best energy to be in. When you observe, okay, this shit ain't real and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you always got internal peace. All right. Pluto in Aquarius right now. It's direct. I'm sorry. It's direct. But it goes retrograde May 6th. Right now. So Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto. And I ain't talking about future. I ain't talking about future. I'm talking about Pluto. But future may be in Aquarius too and shit like that. Future may be in Aquarius. Let me see what future posts on his Instagram. What's the last thing? We're gonna see where future at and stuff like that. See if he in the alignments and shit like that. So y'all know Aquarius. Aquarius deal with associations, being in the world, internet and shit like that. Being associated with some brand or something like that. Being associated with another future. Let's see what future posted on his Instagram. I'm saying nobody escaped the energies. Future. Let me go to his account. Damn, what's Future name on Instagram? Free bands or some shit like that? I thought his name was at Future. What's Future name on Instagram, y'all? Pluto. Free bands. I'm trying to see. Future. Come on. Hold on. Let me see. Who tagging this? Damn, Future don't got his Instagram no more. I think he don't got his Instagram no more. But this is the idea of type in free bands, and this is what I've seen. So, yep. So, Aquarius worldwide and stuff like that. We dealing with that energy and shit like that. Aquarius deal with the association. So we know a lot of people, we fuck with the people in that's being associations and shit like that, the public arena. So what better else than be in some type of fashion house type shit. So look how you get utilized. Pluto and Aquarius and shit like that. Aquarius always rule the public association. So he's showing you who he associated with publicly and shit like that, just by being a Scorpio and shit like that, and actually having that alignment. So he might knew something. He might knew some astrology shit. He might because he is Scorpio. Pluto is the co-ruler of Scorpio. But yeah, Pluto and Aquarius, and it's with its remnants of Capricorn too. It's taking power control over associations you position yourself amongst. So we all take power control over our associations that we position ourselves amongst and shit like that. Now, there's a lot of things changing on a deeper level. There's a lot of things transforming in our public arena. What I'm saying? Different concepts, different things we associate it with. So we trying to see which associations that we associate with do we need to transform? Do we need to let go? Do we need to, put death to type shit? Which ones? Which ones? Which ones? That's where we may struggle the most, for the most part. Which ones do we need to transform? Is it this one or is it this one? Is it that one or is it that one? So, yeah, Pluto. Pluto. Oh, goddamn chat. Whew, I gotta take a breather after that. So that's where, I'm sorry. That's where most of the planets are at, right? Most of them and shit like that. That's what we getting more deeper into Capricorn hours, so everything's settling down and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where most of the planets are at. So with the last one, but not least, is the moon, and Luna, right, is in Aquarius, but we're going through Pisces right now. So a lot of the things that we may be feeling, we may be reacting to, may have to deal with this new world. How we gonna participate and be a part of society, aka Aquarius, and the public status and position of that, because it's ruled by Saturn. How are we going to be a part of this? How are we going to change in our association? How we associated and shit like that. And we don't want to be associated the same way. We want to be associated for it the way we want to be associated for. But due to us accepting terms and conditions and shit like that, in public society, you may be on a ladder scale shift of government type shit. And that may be your association, but right now we may feel that we need to expand on that too, because it's getting closer to Pisces. We need to learn about that. We need to have a little bit more faith and belief in our our imagination about it, aka whatever we believe in was a delusion about our association. No, that motherfucker real. But now we know that. How can we have better beliefs and things? So it's replacing our belief systems and shit like that for better, healthier outcomes. And that's what we're gonna be experiencing with the moon in Aquarius right now. Trying to position ourselves in society from an internal level. You know what I'm saying? AKA reacting to what we did, what we could do better, and how can we all get better type shit. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, man, that is the motherfucking planets, know your motherfucking stars, and all of this is gonna be predicated on, how well we can organize and things, and understand this reality that we actually living in, even though it is what it is. But how can we actually understand and see the hard see the hard part of this reality? Okay, we got it set in stone. So we set in stone about the reality. And now we got a stepping stone that we can, once we step on that stone and shit like that, it's a little bit more easier and shit because we sturdy and we got something to depend on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Or you could be taking this as a harsh reality and things of that nature. And that could be that motherfucking situation at the moment. All right, now let's motherfucking. I gotta take a music break or something and shit like that. That's just too much logic right now. Too much logic. God damn it. God damn it. But the world be needing logic. Everybody being retarded. The world needs now is logic, sweet logic. Because what you going broke for? You're going broke for another man. Trust me. You're going broke for another man. They just said, no, it's your kids and stuff like that. But you're going broke for another person right now. That's the reality of it. Now, you can see the reality of it and things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. But if you're not seeing that reality, you're not really realizing what you're going broke for. You just think it's Christmas, and, Santa real, and if I do this, I'm a good citizen in Samaria. No, you just got to see the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? You're going broke for another man's idea. Type shit. Don't got nothing to do with that. Don't got nothing to do with that. They rock you to sleep. But now you know, and things of that nature. Once you step on that rock, once you step on that brick and stuff, you been crafted and shit like that, you won't fall. You ain't gonna fall next time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna know, like, okay, I ain't gotta be super lost with this shit. I can know a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Accept that harsh reality, Capricorn season, and do better. And I might pull up on y'all tomorrow too, and shit like that with the alignments and shit like that. Shit. No, I might have to. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. Yeah. Yeah. So how y'all feel, man? I hope you feel very in tune, a little bit more with the alignments at hand and things. So when you look at the planets, you know what they mean, you know what you experience, and you know what we're going through. Overall, I would say, it's looking like that we're having a reality check right now. That's really much it. Like, we having a reality check with our belief systems, our society, and shit like that. And it's cool. So y'all celebrate Christmas and shit like that, which is cool. Y'all go ahead and think. I know that's what y'all gonna do. As Zeus and shit like that. Yeah. But y'all need to figure out how to motherfuckers not spend y'all money on these people that don't give no fuck about y'all. That's like one thing that y'all gotta figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that y'all gotta figure out. How to not spend this money. Like, I gotta question y'all why y'all believe this. Why y'all believe certain things. I ain't saying why y'all believe this, but why y'all believe certain things. Okay? Because there's a lot of things. I mean, Uranus being Taurus, stubborn and changing values, surroundings, like, and a delusion about our beliefs, taking power control over our associations. Like, it's a struggle starting to get sturdy about our beliefs and dreams and shit like that, getting comfortable with past experiences, just like past energies, creating a business structure around your passions and shit like that. Yeah, getting more realistic about your passions. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just gotta get a little bit more realistic. As the world. And I'm signing off. I'm Kelsito, Spirit Coach. Get your ass again. See y'all next time, chat.